Have you ever wanted to create a YouTube channel and you feel your skills are not at par with what a YouTube channel presenter needs to have? Or you feel your communication skill is making you less confident? Now I'm here to console you because we are both in the same shoe. To even console you further, public speaking is the #1 phobia in the world, and YouTube is more or less a public speaking platform because you're exposing yourself to judgment by the whole world. Now, if this is your situation, relax and let's chat about some of the things that people claim have worked for them and some of the things that I have applied and the ones I find to be very effective. Welcome once again to my YouTube consistency, accountability journey. And if you're new here, you are welcome to become my accountability partner, to follow me up weekly to do what I say I will do. So, and if you want to get this update, you can subscribe and let's go on this journey together. So #1 thing is the fact that a lot of people actually view YouTube as a public speaking platform. Yes, I know I started by saying that YouTube is a public speaking platform, but when you view it that way, it will come with the same phobia that public speaking comes with. So why not narrow it down to speaking to a single person? A lot of us talk very well when we are with people that we like, people that we love. But when it comes to speaking in public or speaking to strangers, we then become more reserved. So why don't you imagine speaking to a friend? You could even craft an imaginary friend and try speaking to that one person. Forget about the algorithm, forget about the YouTube viewers, forget about subscription, forget about all that, and speak to this friend to deliver the value you have. I have an imaginary friend, Anita, and I try to tell Anita about what I'm up to, what I'm learning. The imaginary friend is who I'm talking to now, and she's smiling at me and listening. So why don't you create an imaginary friend that you could talk to while talking to the camera? Let your camera have a name. Let your camera be your imaginary friend, and you'll see how it elevates your comfort with talking to the camera. Now, I know that a lot of times the hardest thing is to start. Once you start, it takes less effort to do more videos. Even if you don't want to go public in the first video you make, do you know there is a place you can save your videos as private and later schedule it for publishing? Yeah, you could actually upload these videos if you're not confident after editing anyways, and later schedule it for public view. You can ask for feedbacks by sharing the links of your private videos. Did you know how YouTube started? It started as a video sharing app to share to friends and the families, but now it's become a whole public video sharing app. So start by sharing it to familiar people, sharing it to friends that you know will give you honest feedback. And when you think you're comfortable, you can schedule it for a public post. Now, the third thing that would be on my list will be to script. I know a lot of times it's not easy to talk on the feet, especially when you don't want to make mistakes, when you're conscious of the mistakes. You could actually take your pen and paper, think through what you want to talk about, script it, write it, practice it before you come to the camera. Although, because I personally like to speak from my heart, I tend to do outlines instead of full-fledged scripting. So I try to get an outline of what I'm going to talk about, and then I read about it, I think about it. When I'm talking, I talk based on things I feel. I synthesize those information from within and not from the paper. But the outline guides me as to the progress of my talk, of my YouTube video, so I don't ramble or repeat myself. Start small. Don't try to do a 40 minutes long video. Start small by doing 5 minutes video, 10 minutes video, and edit it as you go. The fifth thing, which I think is the most important, is to have a message, have a value that you believe in, that you're convinced about to share. It makes it easy when you have a burning message to share. So you're not concentrating on your speaking, but rather you want to really share this message, especially if you have a passionate message to share to the world. You find that your passion drives the talk, and you even forget entirely that you don't have a good communication skill because you want to pass a message. Think of it as when you are emotionally charged and you want to pass this information across to another because you can't contain it. For instance, you have a partner and you just won a lottery and you have been praying and expecting a miracle. Think about all the emotions that runs through your mind and how you want to just, pass this information to your partner when you see your partner. Because it's coming from a well up of emotions. You're not overly concerned about your communication, how you sound. You just want to say, wow, I just won a lottery. If it is probably a less emotionally charged situation, perhaps the emotions of your fear about your communication skill might outweigh the emotion or the value you want to deliver. So research and know what you really want to talk about. Talk about things that you're passionate about, things that you believe in. It helps to drive the confidence. Use conversational tone, chat as if you're chatting to Anita, your imaginary friend, or whatever you call your imaginary friend. That is your camera. As if the person is just there and you are in a lounge or a coffee shop answering a question in a very, very conversational tone. Helps because then you're not focused on your fears, but you're rather focused on the conversation. You're rather focused on answering the question that Anita has for you or your imaginary friend. Another point is to know that this video is going to be edited and you can add graphics to make it look less boring if you feel you're boring. So just enjoy the process. And when editing, try to add some of those things that you feel would uplift and make the video more visually appealing for your listener. But of course, try as much as possible to also look nice, simple, and don't have a lot of distracting things around. We want to focus on the message, not so much on the messenger. Review your process. So if you have videos recorded, don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Seek for feedback. Send your videos out to people that you know are not afraid to give you feedbacks, critical feedbacks, like very helpful feedback, even if they are negative, but are willing to help you grow in your journey. Seek for a mentor. Watch videos. Basically, just create, start, and look for feedback on how to improve. Then work on those feedback, review your process, iterate, and be flexible. One thing that people have said help is actually to charge up your adrenaline, perhaps to get into that emotionally charged state before you start recording. So one thing I use is mantras. So I try to tell myself that this video I'm about to make is to create value for the listener. While I want the listener to make me accountable and to help me to keep accountable to what I say I will do, I also want to provide value for the listener and help the listener to navigate the journey of consistency and prevent procrastination, just like I am navigating my own journey. This puts me in a mental state to provide value, and when I hit record, whatever I say is coming from that emotional charge of providing value. So you find how you can charge yourself emotionally. Some people actually also charge themselves physically, jumping, trying to do some form of exercise before they start recording. Find what works for you. I found mine, which is to try to get myself in a state of delivering value before starting recording. Another thing I would love to emphasize is we are all growing, and no matter how much you think you know, there is still room for growth. So try to look at the room or the gaps in your delivery and try to fill up those gaps by learning, researching, and improving your process. I believe in an iterative process. I believe in reviewing and improving. I believe in consistency because I believe that when you've made a lot of consistent effort in one area, you tend to be better at it. But I also think that making that consistent effort without improvement is going to turn it into a ritual. And you don't want to be a ritualist, trust me. You want to have agility as well as consistency, and that will make for flexibility and chiasm. So try to be consistent, but in your consistency, try to learn and improve your process. My final tip is to try to celebrate your wins. Try as much as possible not to allow the algorithm to make you not see that you've taken the step. Take the first step and celebrate it. You have finally taken a leap. And remember what they say, that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with just a step. You do not know how much is ahead. You've taken that step, and that is what matters. And after celebrating that, go ahead to achieve your next milestone and celebrate it. Set another goal for yourself, achieve it, and celebrate it. Even if it is to have the confidence to celebrate your confidence to stay on the camera and talk, celebrate when you stop using filler words in your videos. Celebrate all those small milestones. It's as much as we want to celebrate the bigger goals, let's break them down into smaller manageable goals that we can achieve in shorter time and celebrate. Remember that what is most important is the value you have to give to your listener. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all part of the process. And that brings me to the end of my 10 tips. See you in the next episode. Bye.